Hello, this is Trent Nelson of Infinite Healing, and somebody has asked me to keep talking about different topics and understanding and my understanding of the reasons for different things, and so discussing body language and symptoms and healing. And so somebody asked me, what is the purpose of the body? So the purpose of the body, it's a very interesting question, because the way that we say things is we actually say that we have a body, or we say my body. So we know that there is some part of us that is experiencing our body, and that experiencer is that we are not our body, that we are something beyond a body, that we have a spirit, that we have emotions, that we have thoughts, and that we have awareness, which you can also call spirit. So what is the purpose for the body is an interesting question. And really, then you start to ask, well, where does the body come from? And if the mind is in charge of the body, how did I get a body? And where did it start to develop from? Obviously, the answer most people will come up with right off the bat is, well, you were born, so then that's how you got a body. If you start to think about it in a bigger picture point of view, from a repetitious point of view, and if people believe in past lives, that means that you've had other bodies. That means that you've lived other lives. And if you talk that way, if you're a spiritual person who thinks that way, that would mean that you are continuing to incarnate and develop into a physicality, into a body, for a reason. And the reality of your physical body is it's a container for your spirit, and it's also made of spirit. So it's not just a container, it's also spirit. So you could say from one point of view that we're all walking around as little gods, trying to remember that we're God, or trying to remember that we're a part of the divine. And so the purpose of the body from that point of view is to remember our divinity, to remember, it's a vehicle, it's a tool to help us remember our divinity. So the substance of the body, what it's actually made of, its flesh and its skin and its bones and its muscle, can actually be changed into a more, what people say is, well, I'm spiritual, I want to get enlightened. You can't actually turn the body into more light. So by different healing techniques, different spiritual practices, purification practices, you can transmute, or you can change the very substance of your body to being more light, which is more enlightened, which is also remembering and being more connected to the divine. The divine, you could say, is everything. It's all-encompassing, but it's also, the more enlightened you get, the more vibration your body has. So the more that the cells of your body are vibrating, the more light that you have in your body, the more enlightened you are. So the purpose of the body, from a procreative point of view, is to ensure the ongoing survival of our species. But we're here for more than that. From a spiritual point of view, it's to remember our divinity and to use the body as a way to help you remember that you're divine. And because the body has what's called cellular memory, it has a memory, just like the mind has a memory, the body has a memory. By understanding this, you can use the body to help you undo the things that you've done, or the thoughts that you've thought, or the things you've done with your body that have taken you away from being spiritual and remembering that you're divine. So you can correct the body and help it remember, help it wake up to become more light or more alive. And I highly recommend that. So the purpose of the body is it's a creation that is there for you to experience your divinity. And that's really what we are walking around, is we're spiritual vehicles, but we're spiritual gods and goddesses, parts of God bumping into each other, having interactions, experiencing different things. And so you have free choice, so you get to experience whatever you want to experience. But to understand that the purpose of the body is to try to help you experience more divinity, more light, more life. And in order to do that, these spiritual practices come in very handy, and understanding this topic with some depth is necessary. So your body is not just, you're not just a machine that eats, sleeps, and goes to work. You're not an animal only who needs to survive, needs to eat, needs to procreate, and so there's another purpose for the body. So if you put the animal part aside and you say, well, the spiritual side of me, what's the purpose of the body? It's to remember that you are divine. And sounds a little hokey if you haven't heard this concept before, but your divinity is the most important part of your life, is understanding and remembering that you could say God loves you, or that you are a part of the divine, you are a part of the divine universe. And so to take care of this physical body, develop goals and purpose in life that's in alignment with your spiritual self, with the higher purpose of your body, and to help you remember that you're divine is what the body is for. So if you like this idea and you want to figure out, well, what are the spiritual practices, and how can I purify my body, and how can I purify my mind, and how can I undo why it is that I keep developing a body, why is it that I don't get completely enlightened? It's great questions to ask. These are the most important things to ask about life. So to do that, I recommend that you contact me, www.lulu.com/Trent Inspires. I have many books and publications about these topics, and developing audio tapes for that, and MP3s for that, CDs for that. And also that you email me, TrentNelsonInspires@hotmail.com. And I also give private consultations. I do healing treatments using infinite bodywork, infinite breathing. Those are two purifying spiritual techniques, or healing techniques. So to really start to honor your body as a part of the divine, not just for the animal that you need to keep the mechanics in order to ensure that you don't get sick, or in order to ensure that you can continue to procreate the species. Remember that you as an entity, as a being, as a sentient being on this planet, have a higher purpose, and you have a spiritual reason for being here, and to learn how to get in alignment with that, to remember what the purpose for having a body is to remember that you are loved as the divine and loved by the divine. So I hope that helps, and thank you for the question and the topic, and if you want any more information, please contact me, and thanks for watching this YouTube.